Hello, Dawn. Okay, so last time we talked about we talked about your dad and the abuses you went through with your dad, and then talked about your brothers as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about this though, and I wanted to kind of make it clear. It wasn't all of my brothers. There were like 2 brothers that were specifically going out of their way to make my life living hell.
Yeah.
They didn't all do that. There were 2 of them, and they were horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can tell you, like, I mean, my oldest brother, he's the one that like sexually assaulted me when I was in my 30s. But when I was growing up, I would wake up to him bounding me, gagging me, tying me up, and dragging me into his bedroom and tucking me behind the bed and then beating the living shit out of me. Every single weekend, he did that.
What was his motive?
He just would.
I mean, did he even have one?
Well, according to him, he had one. He had this system that he would, make like marks on. Every time I offended him, whatever that meant, anytime that I irritated him, pissed him off, whatever, if I looked a certain way and he didn't like it, he would mark down these things that he called tillions. Don't even know where that comes from. He called them a tillion. And at the end of the week, he would drag me in, bound and gagged, throw me behind the thing and give me a tillion for each one that I racked up in his mind.
Was he like watching something? Like, was there?
I don't know.
Like
he was
acting out this sick, sadistic.
I really don't know because he was so much older than me and I avoided all of them like the plague. But
how old was he and like how old were you?
I would say he's probably like 6 years older than me.
Okay.
So it's still like a big difference when you're a little kid.
Well, my brother was 5 years older than me.
It's a big difference when you're.
Yeah, it's a very big difference. I mean, I was more of an annoyance to him than.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I personally don't think I did anything, but he just utilized anything that he could to sort of abuse me. And
listen, if anybody annoyed their brothers, it was me.
I know.
I probably was a little hellion to my brother. He was probably so exhausted all the time.
But he loved you, and it was a healthy thing. Yeah.
He would never go and beat me. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you could have done whatever you wanted to do. Him going that far.
I really didn't, though, honestly. I really was a very alone child. I really made sure I felt better in the woods by myself than I did around any of them, including my parents. I just didn't want to be around them. Anyway, I'm sorry that I went into that direction, but I just felt like I needed to clarify that.
I like that direction. Is he still alive?
He is still alive. Yeah, I saw him at my brother's. Huh?
Where is he?
He's still in that same city. He's a crackhead. He's a heroin addict. He's a complete, whatever. I don't have anything nice to say about him. I saw him at my brother's funeral 2 years ago, and he had the audacity to try to come up to me and give me a hug, thinking I would be like calm and collected at a funeral. And I was like, no, thank you. And he was like, what? And I was like, get away from me. Like, I will flip chairs up in here. I don't care. I'm done being polite with any of you.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. I'm a grown-ass woman. Yeah.
I'm at the point where I just don't care anymore about being,
the niceties.
Yeah. I don't need to be nice to you.
No.
You totally took advantage of me, and whatever.
Yeah. And he was the one when, at 30?
I was 32 years old. I went out with my mother. My mother got tired and she said, I'll just have Jeff come down. Up until that point, I had no problem with my brother. Yes, what he did to me as a child, but we like evolved from that. Right. So it was like, it was fine. I looked up to him. I thought he was a real cool guy to hang out with, whatever. And I hung out with him and he got me completely wasted. And then we went back to my mother's house and he was giving me lines of cocaine. And I was doing these lines of cocaine. And then all of a sudden I guess I passed out because I don't know. That's the last thing I remember is doing those lines. I had never really done that stuff. I did it when I was young, but at 32, I wasn't into drugs at that point. And So I guess it was really strong for me. And he just kept making me do it. I remember him going, do this one, do this one, do this one. Like it was like 4 or 5 right in a row. And then I woke up and he was having sex with me. And I was just like, and I have such an issue with this because I didn't fight back, because I didn't like scream. And I don't know why I didn't. I still don't know why.
Yeah.
And then it's coming out like, and I lost my marriage over it. I lost so much because of that one event. I mean, I ended up in an institution for 2 months because of that. I went insane. There was nothing I could do, Dana, to like get rid of it. I couldn't.
Yeah.
It was just like the most disgusting feeling inside of myself. And more so, I think, because I didn't fight back,
Well, I mean, looking back on that, I mean, would that even have helped? I mean,
I
sometimes
don't even
women
know.
don't.
I just was like so in shock by
Yeah.
it all. And I just didn't even know like what was going on. And then the next morning I was just like, that actually did happen. And I realized that it wasn't a dream. It really happened. And then I had to like walk through my mom's house and she's just like doing dishes and she's not saying anything. And I know that she knew. I know that.
You do?
Yeah, because she was just acting funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't say anything at that moment. And it took me like 3 days because he called. My brother called my house. My husband answered the phone and he said, your brother's on the phone. And I put the phone to my ear and he was like, can you come out and play again tonight? And I just hung up the phone. I ran upstairs and that's when it all just came back. And my husband was like, what is going on? What is going on? And I told him and he was just like, I'm done. Got divorced over it. I mean, really over that. That was the final straw, And then I told everybody in my family. I had never done that before. I was very quiet my whole life about all that stuff. And I told everyone and nobody acted like it was a big deal. Everyone still continued to have him around and I just
Was he married?
No, he is
Okay. Because I was
actually
going to say, did it break up his marriage too? I mean, so no ramifications for him, obviously.
nothing.
But it sounds to me like it wasn't, I mean, like even a second thought for him that it wasn't a good thing to do. That it was
because I didn't fight back, he's telling everyone that I liked it, I wanted it, and I was part of it. And then, I don't know, 5 or 6 years later, he ended up having children with our cousin, and they were in a relationship for 10 years. They had 2 children. The children got taken away, and I mean, and nobody said anything about that either. Like, okay, this is normal. It's just so crazy. So crazy.
It is crazy, but it makes me sick to my stomach that I mean, obviously you still have work to do.
It's just that one thing because I get so angry with myself because it's like, why didn't I just do something? I just got so used to being like in that position. And I mean, my dad did it to me in adulthood. After my grandmother died, my father tried to assault me. I mean, just crazy stuff. And I can't answer it.
I can't answer it for you either. I wish I had something like, well, for one, I wish I could hug you. It sucks being this far away. But, I mean, to me, okay, how do I even say this? I am so confident that when you were in that moment, there would have been nothing that you could have done to change the outcome. Had you have fought back or said no or any of those things, probably wouldn't have a different outcome. And honestly, if you would have fought back, it may have been even worse. You may not be sitting here talking to me today.
Yeah.
So those things, like, to me, I'm so confident in saying that. I wish that you were that confident in saying that, like, I wish I can impart that to you and be like, I wish that you could, reiterate that back to me and be like, there was nothing I could do. I hate that you feel that such guilt. And here's the thing, and this is the main reason we're doing this, right? There are so many people that feel that same way. There's so many, not just women, men too. There's so many people that have been taken advantage of, and they feel like they could have done more in that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the one main reason why you want to share your story. I just want to hug you. We weren't even going to go here today.
I just wanted to clear that up because I don't want to lump everyone together and make it seem everyone was awful, because I have one brother who's the second to the youngest who's always been really good to me. And
you still talk to him, right?
I still talk to him. Yeah.
We'll make sure that it's made clear that, I mean, that it just wasn't everybody. I mean, I know that the majority of your family, was abusive to you.
Yeah.
What, like, do you have extended family? I mean, is everybody, like uncles and aunts, are they?
No, I have one uncle and aunt who they've been in my life since I was a baby, and they were the ones that really fought to have me treated properly, because they would come over. I mean, I remember being in the crib still at 4 years of age. I was kept in the crib. I remember so many incidences of like being in diapers when I was way too old to be in diapers, and just being completely ignored. And then my uncle and aunt, when they would come over, they would take me out of the crib, and they'll tell you, I mean, I'm going to see them next month, and
I hope we can sit down for
they will totally share all of that. And because they always just felt so angry toward my mom. It's my mom's brother, and he just used to get like, he used to say it to me all the time, I never understood like why she just hated you so much. And he said, and she hated you. He said, and you were in the crib until 4 or 5 years of age, and we would come over and pull you out of the crib, and she would yell at them for taking me out of the crib.
Do you think it had anything to do with like, it was her internal coping mechanism?
No, I think it had to do with her upbringing. She had a very similar kind of mom. Her mom did the same things to her.
Yeah.
She never wanted a girl. I mean, these are things that I was told constantly. She never wanted me. She definitely never wanted a girl. She never liked me. It was never like a secret. She really hated me.
Yeah.
She did. And I don't know. I mean, there's many components, and I can try to rationalize it, and but it doesn't matter. I mean, I have forgiven her, so that anger isn't there anymore. Yeah,
because you can see it. You can see in your body language and your face that when you talk about her, that there's no left resentment or anything there. I mean, you definitely see where things, affect you still,
Yeah. You know what though, Dana? I think if there was ever just any acknowledgement, apology, something, it would be a whole lot different. And I understand as a Christian, like, I'm not supposed to forgive based on the contingency of an apology, but it's really hard to forgive those kinds of things. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm going to be honest. And honestly, I'll be even more honest. I actually don't have any desire.
I was going to say.
I don't.
I'm not.
I like having the anger that I have about it. And I don't know why. And I have to really work on that, because it's not very Christian-like to feel that way. And I know this.
Yeah, but I mean, gosh, I mean, you're not Jesus,
Yeah,
and no one expects you to be, but I know what you're saying. I hear you. I mean,
but I can't measure myself by the world standards. Everybody will tell me I have a right to hate him. Everybody will tell me I can wish whatever ill will. But as a Christian, it's not okay. Yeah. And I know that.
A sin is a sin is a sin.
Yeah, I mean, I've accepted so much grace and forgiveness myself. I've done some awful things in my life. I'm
Yeah.
just not there yet,
Yeah.
and hopefully I'll get there.